The Two-Gun Kid.
Herein is the strange saga of self-made exiles, greedy, gold-hungry gunnies and flame-spitting six-shooters that tear asunder the curtain of time. Into a valley of violence, into the presence of the past, rides the reckless, rambling ranny known to the western plains as the Two-Gun Kid, in
Gunsmoke over Vulture Valley.
As dawn streaks the eastern sky, the Two-Gun Kid, devil-may-care horseman of the western trails, rides his famous black stallion, Cyclone, into Vulture Valley.
I got two guns that bark and roar. They're shooting day and night.
Suddenly, a gun-hung figure darts from behind a rock and stands menacingly in the kid's path.
All right, you found me. I'll coot to 3, then draw, or I'll blast you off that horse.
What the? Now I am in it, partner.
1, 2, 3.
At the last, fatal second, Two-Gun makes his play, beating the lad's lightning-fast draw by a hair.
Sorry, son. You asked for it.
I'll. Go ahead and finish it. Kill me now. I'll never tell you how to get onto Balancing Rock Plateau.
I still don't know what you're talking about, hombre. Seems like you tapped your rope on the wrong steer.
Suddenly a storming horde of gun-toting hardcases sweeps around a rock, and slams toward the two men.
Get 'em, boys. Take 'em alive, men.
Come on, get it, you varmints.
The rope tightens and pulls the kid from the saddle. Under the overwhelming crush of men, Two-Gun is crushed to the ground and overpowered.
Kick I'm in the head. Oh, we got I'm Manders.
Roped and hog-tied, Two-Gun and his former antagonist are led to a ranch in the valley.
I'm gonna leave you two Jaspers on my ranch, and take another try at getting onto Balancing Rock Plateau. If I don't find the trail heading onto the plateau, you and your partner better be ready to talk, or I'll burn the secret out of you.
The Colt-armed cavalcade rides away, leaving two men to guard the prisoners.
Gee, I never thought I'd be a prisoner in my own home.
I thought the Jasper the Cold Manders owned this ranch. You know, I kinda stepped into something here that I don't know anything about.
I guess I made a mistake about you, friend. My name is Ned Kincaid, and what's happened, well, it's a long story.
I reckon we've got time. You tell me your story and we can work on these ropes we're tied with while you talk. Go ahead.
In the gloom of the ranch house room, young Ned begins his tale.
It all began 20 years ago when a lithe young ranny, his two black-handled colts strapped close to his thighs, rode up from the border into Vulture Valley. A tall, strong-faced, gray-eyed man, dressed in gray, from Stetson to boot top.
He rode his handsome gray mare into Sam Arnold's ranch, where he was welcomed with true Western hospitality.
Get down and rest a spell, stranger. You're welcome here.
Thank you, Arnold. My name's Kincaid. You've got a nice spread here.
At table that evening, Kincaid first met Susan Arnold, and, for the first time in a life full of death and violence, the man's icy heart felt warmth.
Kincaid, this is my daughter Susan.
It's a pleasure to know you, ma'am.
Kincaid stayed on, and as the days passed, he and Susan became closer and their love grew. They spent hours together at the place they liked best, Balancing Rock Plateau.
Someday this rock will fall and close the plateau forever.
I don't care what happens, Kin, as long as we're together.
The only fly in their ointment was Floyd Manders, sheriff of Vulture Valley, who wanted to marry Susan so he could get the Arnold Ranch.
I'm sorry, Floyd, but I just can't see you anymore.
I won't stand for this. I'll have you, or...
That's enough, Manders. Get on your cayuse and ride out.
Then one day, two hardcase strangers rode into Arnold's spread just as Kincaid stepped out of the bunkhouse.
Howdy, folks. We're, Blackie, look, it's Flash Kincaid. Get him.
In one swift, terrible moment, burning lead lanced across the dusty yard like streaks of doom. As the acrid six-gun smoke drifted lazily away, 2 men lay dead in the dust, struck down by the deadly speed and precision of Flash Kincaid, most famous cross-draw gunman of the Southwest.
So that's who you are. Flash Kincaid, the killer. I don't know why I didn't connect you with the name sooner. Kincaid, you better ride out. I'll allow no daughter of mine to be wedded to a gunhawk killer.
No, Dad. Wait.
It's your ranch, Arnold. I'll ride out.
But Kincaid couldn't ride far from Susan. He bought land adjoining the Arnold Ranch and began to build and stock it.
Get along, hup, dogies, hup.
To provide his land and stock with life-giving water, he built a dam across Vulture River. Meanwhile, the sly, greedy Manders wormed his way into the good graces of the stiff-necked old cattleman, Sam Arnold.
Yes, sir, someday Vulture Valley will be a thriving cattle center and my job as sheriff will really amount to something. When that time comes, I'd like to have Susan by my side, Sam.
I look on you with favor, Floyd, and I'll tell Susan so.
Afraid to face Flash Kincaid's deadly colts, Manders took every chance to spy on him.
Building a dam, huh? If I use this right, I should be able to make old Sam hopping mad at Kincaid.
Get up, Manders, you sneaking polecat.
Kincaid, don't you talk like that to me. I'm sheriff of this county.
Keep off my spread, and keep away from Susan or I'll kill you. That's not a threat. It's a promise.
Riding back to town, Manders' jackal mind came to a deadly conclusion.
I gotta find some way of making Sam Arnold and his men ride against Kincaid and wipe him out. Maybe I can twist this damn building thing to do it. I'll ride over tonight and brace Sam.
That night, Susan and Kincaid met secretly at the Balancing Rock.
Honey, things are coming to a head. Will you marry me against the wishes of your father?
Without you, Kin, I wouldn't want to live. I'll pack some things and we can ride over to Parson Martin's and be married tonight.
Into Vulture Valley the two lovers rode, and there, they were married.
I now pronounce you man and wife.
Back to Kincaid's ranch they rode, their happiness for the moment blinding them to the trouble they knew was bound to come.
Welcome home, Mrs. Kincaid.
Oh, Kin, I'm so happy.
Meanwhile at the Arnold Ranch, Manders was trying to poison old Sam's mind toward Kincaid.
And the dam will cut off Vulture River and dry up your graze so's your steers will starve.
I'm gonna tell this to Susan so she can see just what kind of neighbor we got. She's gone. I found this note. She's run off with Kincaid.
That settles it. Get your men together. We'll ride out and burn him and his ranch to the ground. This is just the ammunition I needed. The fool.
Soon a horde of bloodthirsty men slammed through the night toward Kincaid's ranch, their tempers, fanned by Manders, flamed into a killing mood. Trapped in the house with his bride of an hour, Kincaid fought against overwhelming odds, with desperate ferocity.
Stay down, Sue.
I never thought Dad would do a thing like this.
Under Manders' direction, the newly built house was set on fire.
That ought to smoke him out.
Under cover of thick, choking smoke, Kincaid and Susan made a desperate bid for freedom.
I'll grab a horse and try to get away. You go to your dad. You'll be safe.
No, I'm going with you. I'd rather die with you than live without you.
Kincaid and his wife got to the horses and rode away from their burning home, the cries of their enemies closing in on all sides.
We're cut off. The only way open is toward Balancing Rock Plateau. Maybe I can stand them off there.
They reached Balancing Rock just one jump ahead of their pursuers and settled down for their last stand.
Oh, Kin, you're wounded.
It's nothing, dear. I hope we can hold out.
But the odds against them were too great.
There are too many of them. Sue dear, there's only one way.
You mean push the rock over?
Yes, but it will seal us here on this lonely plateau forever.
With you beside me, no place on earth could be lonely, Kin.
Kincaid put a log to the huge rock, and as his muscles bulged with the strain, the monstrous boulder slowly began to quiver and rock.
Then, with a rending groan, the balancing giant toppled, gaining momentum as it hurtled down. It carried tons of shale and rock to burst like an avalanche of thunder on the men below, and the entrance to Balancing Rock Plateau was closed. Sam Arnold was killed in the landslide, but Manders escaped unharmed. Kincaid found a lovely little valley in the middle of the plateau. There he and Susan lived, and there a son was born to them, and they named the boy Ned. I am that boy.
As the story unfolds, Two Gun works on the knots that binds him until he frees himself.
I helped Dad with the animals and we fashioned ornaments, and things out of gold which we found in the rocks and streams in an amount beyond the dreams of man.
There, you can chuck those ropes now. Go ahead, Ned. Now that we're free of those ropes, I'm taking stock of the guards.
Well, Dad and Mom were ideally happy. Then one day we discovered that corrosion over the years had opened the pass again, and they decided that it wasn't fair to keep me cooped up in the valley. Today was the great day. I left the plateau with a bag of raw gold from the valley and entered the world of men to claim my dad's ranch. I found Manders had taken possession. I told him my story, but when he saw the gold, he grabbed me and tried to torture me into telling him the way onto the plateau. I got away and that's when I met you.
I've gotta get you out of here. If they don't find the way up the plateau this time, they'll sure make it tough for you. They sought to do it. When the guards come rushing in, you sit on the floor in plain sight as though you're still tied.
The smoldering rugs and blankets gush forth heavy smoke, and as it creeps out under the door the Two-Gun Kid shouts,
"Fire!"
The guards, taken in by the ruse, rush in, and Two-Gun flashes into smashing action.
"Come in, boys. We've been lonesome." "Grab their guns, Ned." "Come on, Ned. Grab a horse and let's make tracks."
I'm with you, friend.
The kid whistles a familiar blast and the mighty black stallion, Cyclone, answers his master's call.
"Around the house and head for the tree line. Let's go."
As they careen madly around the house, they almost ride into the returning Manders and his gun crew.
They're loose, get 'em, men.
With a cowpony twist, and a few mighty strides, the gallant Black is away, quickly widening the gap between his master and Manders' horsemen. But Ned's cayuse is struck by flying lead and goes down screaming.
"They got Ned. If I go back to help him, they'll get me too. There's just too many of them." "There's only one chance. If I can find the way up Balancing Rock Plateau, and if Flash Kincaid is even half the man he used to be, maybe together we can save Ned."
The kid reaches Balancing Rock Plateau and begins his search for the hidden pass to the top.
"Easy, Cyclone. We've got to work fast and carefully at the same time." "This looks like it may be it. Those tracks could be Ned's."
As sure-footed as a mountain goat, Cyclone picks his way upward toward the looming top of the plateau. One misstep of the intelligent black stallion will send horse and rider plunging downward to certain doom.
"Careful, boy. We're almost there."
In a last breathless scramble, the pinnacle is reached and Two-Gun rides into the peace of the Center Valley, the home of Flash and Susan Kincaid. Suddenly the peace is shattered by a bestial growl and a low menacing voice.
"Stay where you are, stranger. Don't move."
"You must be Flash Kincaid."
"How did you get here? Who are you?"
Swiftly Two-Gun tells the skin-clad man of the events which preceded his entrance to the plateau.
"And I rode here hoping to find a way in to reach you. Together we may save Ned."
"You heard, my dear?"
Yes, kin. You must go to our son's aid."
Following the strange pair, Two-Gun enters a clearing and sees a house of logs, the home of the Kincaids.
"Wait for me, stranger. I saved the clothing we wore when we rode in here. I'll be ready soon."
"I'll saddle the gray stallion for you, kin."
The door of the little cabin closes on the shape of a man of the cave days. 15 minutes later the door opens and out steps Flash Kincaid, gunman.
I often wondered if this day would ever come.
"Goodbye, kin. Come back to me."
The two great gunmen ride out of the peaceful valley as Kincaid once more faces the outside world.
I hope we're not too late.
If we are, I'll spend the rest of my life tracking down the coyotes that caught my boy.
After a hard ride, the two men of vengeance reach the ranch.
There's the ranch ahead. We leave the horses and go the rest of the way on foot. Here, Cyclone. You hold the reins and camouflage when I call.
Like scalp-stealing Sioux, Two Gun and Flash creep forward till they reach a window that commands a view of the living room.
They're torturing him.
Wait! Look! Dynamite! We'll blow up the saddle shed. When they come rushing out, we'll have a chance to get Ned away.
I hope it works.
Kincaid lights the fuse, then throws the deadly sputtering stick at the saddle shed.
Drop, Kincaid, till after the explosion.
With a deafening roar, the saddle shed explodes like a house of matches.
I'll save this stick just in case.
The saddle shed blew up. Blackie, you and Tyler watch that kid in there.
Two Gun and Kincaid smash into the room. The two guards go down under the flaming lead of Flash, Kincaid's famous cross-draw.
Dad.
I'll whistle up the horses.
All clear. They've seen us.
Cyclone can carry double. I'll take Ned.
Riding like the wind, the three men head for Balancing Rock Plateau, with Manders and his gunhawks in hot pursuit.
We'll have plenty of time. We're leaving them like they're standing still. But once we reach the plateau...
Reaching the foot of the plateau, the two stallions weave their way up the tricky trail to the summit.
Kin, you're back, and Ned's safe.
Manders saw how we got up here. He'll follow. I saved this stick of dynamite. With it I'll blast the pass shut this time forever. I have your mother. But you have your life before you. You must go back down there. No, Dad, I'll stay with you and Mother.
With the wisdom of his years, though it rends his heart, the old gunfighter takes the only course open to him.
Take the boy. You have just time to get down and clear. This is the best way.
Goodbye, my son.
Down the twisting, narrow trail, Two Gun leads the burdened gray, while above, the Kincaids watch, in their hearts the burden of their love and farewell. Two Gun reaches the foot of the plateau and races away as Manders and his killers ride up.
Never mind those Jaspers, get up the trail. It's the gold on the plateau we want.
This will cut us off from our son and all others forever, my dear.
We have our peaceful valley and each other. Ned will have his chance at a normal life. His memory will be with us always, Kin.
Like a clap of doom, the dynamite explodes, hurling rock and rubble down upon the gold-mad killers, burying them under tons of rock and closing the pass forever.
That's the end of Manders and his men. You can claim the Kincaid Ranch now, Ned, without any trouble.
Someday I'll find another path onto the plateau. Someday, I'll never stop trying.
As the dust of conflict settles over the pass, the Two Gun Kid rides away from Vulture Valley, leaving behind another human drama of the Golden West.